I just fought for him every day of every minute.
Her son was shot and killed by a Spokane Valley deputy over the weekend. Now she's turning pain into action by advocating for more mental health services.
An old abandoned Taco Time got a big dose of patriotism today in one of the coolest stories we've seen all day.
Another nice day across the inland northwest. Temperatures in the 70s. Still on track for 80s later this week. I'll tell you when next.
So the call was that there was a male that was high. So why does that mean death?
That woman's 25-year-old son was shot and killed by Spokane Valley deputies over the weekend. Deputies say Ethan Murray was threatening them, claimed to have something in his pocket, and ignored their commands. We now know he was unarmed. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jane McCarthy. His mom says he struggled with mental illness and drug addiction. She's now advocating for more resources for people with mental health issues and more training for officers.
KREM 2's Alexa Block has her story.
He was a good person. He loved to hike. He loved the mountains. He was kind and compassionate and loved animals.
There are so many things to say about 25-year-old Ethan Murray.
He could knit a scarf. He could play violin. Ethan is a person.
A person with an illness. His mother, Justine Murray, noticed a change in her son when he was 12.
We started getting involved in marijuana and counseling and juvie and little miscellaneous troubles like theft.
Things got worse for the Sandpoint family. Ethan suffered a meth-induced psychotic episode in 2014. That's when he was diagnosed with schizophrenia. In that time, he hitchhiked from state to state. He was in and out of mental institutions or living on the streets. Justine struggled to help her adult son with his illness and drug addiction.
The hardest journey I've ever been on in my entire life. I just fought for him every day of every minute.
He eventually made it home. He was sober, working, and doing well. This was him and his family on a ski trip this past December. By February, he had relapsed. He was arrested, and his March arraignment would be the last time Justine would see her son alive. Ethan was shot and killed by Spokane County deputies near a Spokane Valley apartment complex Saturday.
So the call was that there was a male that was high. So why does that mean death?
Justine found out 2 days after the shooting.
It's really hard. But as every mother that has a son that suffers from mental illness, you just kind of unfortunately wait for the call and know that it can happen, and it's happening too much around the country.
A longtime advocate for those with mental health issues, this mother plans to do more. She wants more available resources for people suffering from mental illness and better training for officers and healthcare providers. It may be too late for Ethan, but it's not too late for others like him.
It's hard, and my heart goes out to everybody involved. But I do believe that this has to change. Like, I don't want other mothers to go through this.
In Sandpoint, Alexa Block, KREM 2 News.
A team of investigators from the Spokane Police Department, Washington State Patrol, and several other agencies are investigating the shooting, which is standard for police shootings.
In other news, a recent Central Valley High School graduate is one of 3 people dead after a shooting in Portsmouth, Virginia. 19-year-old Cheyenne Souls is from Veradale, Washington. She was an active duty military member stationed at Naval Medical Center in Portsmouth. Now, investigators believe a man shot her and her friend at a gas station before taking his own life. Souls' family says, quote, she was driven, focused, and brave until her light faded too soon.
Moscow police say a possible explosive device near Gritman Medical Center turned out to be a broken clock, and there is no risk to the public.
This is the 3rd time police there have investigated a possible explosive device in just less than a week. Well, an emotional ceremony in Spokane honored officers who gave their lives in the line of duty in the state of Washington.
KREM 2 Shayna Waldtower was there today.
327 names on this memorial wall now. Each one of them has a story behind them. And today we got to learn about the 3 new ones that were added this year.
It hurts. It rips off whatever scab may have formed on that hole in our hearts.
It was a ceremony honoring all officers in the state of Washington who gave their lives for public safety. At this ceremony, 3 new names were added to the Spokane Law Enforcement Officers Memorial.
Special Agent Timothy Ensley, Detective Derek Focht, and Officer Diego Moreno.
Family, friends, fellow officers, and others in the community gathered to pay their respects. Moments of heartfelt memories.
A memorial such as this, it's just one more event where we remember, it reminds us of everything that our officers have missed out on.
And honoring lives given in service.
It's important for the community, and it's important for society as a whole, that we always remember and honor their service and sacrifice.
To further remember the service of these individuals, the Spokane Police Department announced a new project. It's the Spokane Fallen Officers Memorial Project.
To further commemorate and honor those that have given their life to our community.
Project members will march with the posters in the Armed Forces Parade on May 18th.
To introduce to the community each and every officer in Spokane County that has given their life.
Meidel says it's another way to continue the honor of those who served. In Spokane, Shayna Waltower, KREM 2 News.
New gun-related laws are coming to Washington state. This morning, Governor Inslee signed 6 bills into law dealing with firearms, including one that bans guns considered undetectable by metal detectors and one that can remove firearms from homes where children have threatened violence or suicide. Another bill allows the seizure of weapons for at least 6 months if someone has been deemed a threat to themselves or others.
Taking a turn to weather now, it was a glorious day across the inland Northwest today.
Yeah, it certainly was. Get ready for more of them. Tom Sherry standing by in the Weather Center with all the good news. Tom?
Yeah, we're going to stay in the 70s, at least for this hour. You can see a look at our next 12 hours with the computer modeling showing that cloud cover will be really not very much of it, just clear skies expected in the overnight hours as the lows dip down into the upper 40s and lower 50s. Then we'll look for another nice day tomorrow with a few clouds rolling in the afternoon, becoming partly cloudy, but still continued warm with a daytime high of 74 degrees. As we look ahead over the next 7 days, the temperature trend has even warmer weather for us as we get into the 80s by the weekend and into that following Monday. I'll have a 10-day forecast for you coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Tom. And it was a gorgeous day for the grand opening of the University District Gateway Bridge in Spokane. That event kicked off with a community expo. It was filled with food trucks and music, and there was also a traditional ribbon cutting ceremony.
Those down at the South Landing for the event also got the opportunity to view some of the new art structures which were added near both ends of the bridge. The bridge has been open to bicyclists and pedestrians since December, and so far people who have used the bridge seem to enjoy the new addition.
I love it. I love the way it links both physically but also symbolically where the University District is, where the city has been, and where the city's going.
In addition to this being a great connection point for people to connect the south and north parts of the University District and make that travel easier, we've also created a plaza location. This bridge is iconic, it's beautiful, it's created an entire new feel to our skyline.
Well, a spokesperson with the city of Spokane says the transformation is not over yet. Right now, city leaders are discussing future projects to help revitalize the area.